Blasko.
Joy to the world. This is it. This is the final one.
You have to do it. This is that season for... And you got perfect pitch, by the way. I got to tell you that.
It was on last night.
Yeah.
So I caught the tail end of it because that's one of those shows, Christmas Vacation, for those of you not familiar. Shame on you if you're not. It's anytime you catch it, it's good. Like it could be halfway through. I caught it, the scene where Clark Griswold's reading The Night Before Christmas, and then he looks out the window, and Cousin Eddie's walking in with his boss with the big red bow. So good. Okay, what's shaking?
Christmas spirit. It's the holidays.
It's in the air, man. Right
now, and I love this dichotomy. Every time the season hits, you got people that are totally in the spirit of things, and people are just mad, angry, depressed, and terrible. And it brings out either one of those. And
both
it's
sides.
About 50%.
I'd say you're right, and I don't know what it is. I think part of it's the stress of what people think is expected of them. I say F that. You know what I mean? If you're so worried, I mean, and I get that way too, I guess. Like, oh, did I get this person something? And then I'm like, after a while, I'm like, we're all grown adults for the most part, unless you're getting something for a kid. If you don't get the perfect present, or you don't get any present, it's just about being in the company of people you love and stuff like that. So I try to, even with my kids, I'm like real minimal. I'm a minimalist, if you will, with regards to presents. If I want to get them something, I'll get it on a Tuesday. It doesn't have to be just on Christmas. So it's nice. I was in New York, just got back yesterday. Everything's decorated. The season's here. It's quick, though. I mean, this rolled up quicker than I thought. You? Yes? No? I'm like, holy shit. It's
all right, so I need you to help me make some emotional connections, some synapses that don't happen naturally. So I'm a pragmatist, right?
Okay, right.
And so let's just say you and I bought, we're doing a gift exchange.
Okay.
I would come to you and say, here's the deal. You know what you really want. I know what I really want. Why don't you go buy yourself something and I'll buy myself something, and then we'll absolutely get something that we want, right?
Yeah.
And my wife and I did this last year.
Okay.
And she got something she wanted. But then this year she said, and you didn't get me a Christmas gift last year. And I said, hold on.
Wait a second.
Hold on.
Right.
You got yourself a Christmas gift, and I just endorsed that Christmas gift. But it wasn't the same thing for her.
Okay.
To me, it was a perfect transaction. I
Right.
think it's the best transaction, but in her eyes...
Right. On paper, you each got a gift, but you didn't wholeheartedly think it through and get something.
And I'm thinking, like, if I would have manipulated it where she buys something, but then she gives it to me and I wrap it and then I present it to her, if it would have changed things at all?
No. That dichotomy would have not have changed.
It would have had to come from my heart.
Correct. And it could be something simple, though, Joe. I find not most, but I mean, people, I think, enjoy those simple things in life. It doesn't have to be some astronomically huge, gift. It could be something as simple as, I don't know, pick her up a Starbucks coffee. Who knows? I mean, those little things. I think.
But I don't have that peace in me. Like am I dead inside? Is that what's missing here?
Well, you do have a black soul. So
I do have
I've been trying to work on that for years. Try to bring a little light. No, you have a good soul. You have a good heart. It's just one of those things you don't think about. It doesn't make you a bad person, and it doesn't mean you don't like her less. And I hope she realizes that.
Yeah, I don't get a high from it or a low from
Right.
it. I mean, if somebody doesn't buy from me, like I don't need anybody to
I get
give me
excited
shit.
about the little things more, like leaving a note
I
here or
agree.
there, doing something that just
Somebody do
makes
something nice
someone
for you.
smile. You know what I mean? And it feels good.
All right, here's one of my annoyances.
Okay.
This is a time of year that people who aren't used to leaving their house, they all go on the road at the same time.
Drive like
And
morons?
They drive like freaking morons.
Throat punch them?
Either go 15 miles under the speed limit or indecisive and whatever. And I get road rage this time of year. And I almost feel like that's anti-Christmas.
I know.
But it happens every stinking year.
But if you keep it to yourself and they don't know you're upset, then it's okay. I feel like as long as you're not flipping them off or driving by them and screaming at them, you're allowed to have the road rage. I have it all the time with regards to I want to throat punch people sometimes the way they drive.
Right.
I'm like, geez, oh, Pete, get there. I drove home yesterday from New York. I was on 80 West, 7 hours, trying to weave through traffic at this person and this person. This person slows down. One person hits the brake. Everyone hits the brakes. You're going 90 miles per hour on the freeway. All of a sudden, you're going 47. Yeah. So, but if you keep it to yourself, it's okay. You have to get that out. Otherwise, you will explode, Joe. Speaking of exploding, how about the ketchup debate? Still going on. I'm still getting shit from people on that. So Scott, our buddy Scott, I won't even pronounce his last name because I never can.
Oshamash.
Yes. Oshamagosh.
Oshamagosh.
Oshamagosh. Yakshimash. Dobre. Sent me a private message saying, all right, you and Joe, you're still debating the ketchup. And then he sent me a picture of some organic ketchup stuff that he uses. He likes it cold, but he goes, this one has it has natural preservatives in it, so it could stay on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's not like a
honestly,
it's
if
a
we ate
natural
better
ketchup.
food,
Like we talked about the Amish making the ketchup.
it wouldn't last a week if it were actual food that you can consume. But today's ketchup, the one you buy off the grocery store shelf, that's going to be able to sit in lukewarm room temperature probably until the year 2029.
Right, and you can still squirt it on your French fries.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, pop versus soda. That popped up somewhere.
Yes.
I'm a pop guy.
Okay.
So I say pop all the time. When I travel the country, people know I'm from the Midwest, if you will, because they'll say, "You're not from around here." I go, "How do you know?" Pop.
Isn't the weirdest thing the things that become contentious are ketchup and soda pop, Pepsi versus Coke?
Right.
Like those are the true relationship enders right there.
You want to hear something cool about Pepsi versus Coke? We'll come back to the pop soda thing. So I was at a conference and I met a dude. He was the keynote speaker. He was I forget his name, and I should know it, and I forget the company. He was the inventor, if you will, of Cool Ranch Doritos. Okay, so there's regular Doritos for numerous years, the nacho cheese flavor. Cool Ranch came out. So he explained how he created the Cool Ranch Dorito. He was looking for a new idea, something different, and he went to the grocery store, and he hung out, literally, for weeks in the salad dressing aisle. And he watched the number one dressing that most people bought. And he found it was ranch. Most people like ranch dressing. And from that came the idea of Cool Ranch Doritos based off the ranch. So what's cool about him and his story is he was such on a high. He was so popular and famous, if you will, within the company. A few years later, he's like, F it. I'm going to make up a new thing. We're going to have clear Pepsi. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. Not a great idea.
Tanked. Like he thought because the Cool Ranch was going to be good. So it was like a humbling experience for him. Just because you had one great idea doesn't mean the next idea is going to be just as great. Because clear Pepsi was ridiculous. It tasted like Pepsi, but it was clear. The concept was neat, but it failed. So anyway, you just made me think of that when you said.
We are so bought into
was a
certain
cool dude.
brands that if you change one little thing about it, it's not the same.
Remember New Coke?
I remember New Coke.
People were like, "This is bullshit."
New Sprite, New Coke. Like
right,
they tried to reinvent all these products.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Loyalists are just like, screw you. Stop touching our thing.
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
I'm a firm believer. There are numerous things in life where I actually think change is good because we talk about change. To me, change promotes opportunity. Sometimes it's up to us to figure out what the opportunities are. And I would say probably 95% of the change that does occur is for the better. It's that percentage that we don't really like. A phone update. I can't stand when I see a phone update popped up because I'm like, it's going to screw something up that I don't really necessarily need. And sometimes the update is a little bit nicer than like, okay, that one. But for the most part, it's like, it ain't broke, don't fix it. But people have a hard time with change with regards to it feeling, and again, it feels uncomfortable, it feels weird, it feels like a pain in the ass sometimes, but I always say change promotes opportunity.
Yeah.
So.
And here's another dichotomy. Like we really love the entropy of change, like the sexiness of doing something different, but we also need solid regimen of not change.
Of the known, not the unknown. Oh, come on in. Chris, you want to be on the air? We're on right now. Are you sure?
What's up, man? All right. Good to see you.
Want to have a drink? You want to have a drink?
Yeah, sure.
I might go.
How you doing, brother?
Be good.
Take care, brother.
That's my buddy Chris. Solid dude. Good dude. You know Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure do.
Yeah, upstairs. What were we saying? Oh, so we're talking about changing things and this and that. So go back to the pop versus soda. So down south, they say Coke for everything. A Sprite is a Coke. That shocked me the first time I was down there. Like, just everything is Coke. In other parts of the country, I would say the majority, it's soda. I think we're pop. I'm not sure if Michigan says pop, Indiana says pop, surrounding.
New England,
Kinda
from here all the way
pop.
up.
I love it. Pop.
What about water versus water?
Yeah, it's
water.
Water. Yeah, I
Water.
say water.
Water.
How do you say wash?
Warsh.
Some people say war. Do you
Pennsylvania.
Say, do you?
Like,
yeah. Is that
like five? No, not
okay,
me.
okay.
But
some people say Warsh.
5 miles to the east.
Right. There's the border.
It's Warsh.
Warsh, and they're famous for yins. So that's a Pittsburgh slang. Yins. We say you guys. I think more like you guys.
Yins, Ewins,
Y'all. That's down now. So my niece lives in Nashville, and she's got a little Nashville in her now. She's from here, but she says y'all a lot because she's inundated with that. Yeah, around the country, there are different dialects, different slang. Anything else we can think of? So yins, y'all, you guys, wash, tomato. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff out there. I don't think anything rings a bell other than poppin' soda is the big one. All right, so let's talk about this. I'd love to get your take on Hallmark movies. I mean, 'tis the season. You can't flip through the channels without seeing a Hallmark movie. I saw some comedian, or I don't even know if he was a comedian, it was some speaker, and he was doing a breakdown of the typical Hallmark movie. And he was right. You know, everyone's going to be in a Christmas village that just looks gorgeous. Somehow there's snow all over, but not on the road. If you ever look at that.
Perfect.
There's always a single woman or a single man who's having hardship, and they get together and they meet, and then the ex-boyfriend or wife shows up, and next thing you know, they're falling apart, and then they come back together. There's always an impromptu snowball fight, and there's always hot chocolate cocoa drinking.
And the snow is perfect. Like, it's the most drifting, subtle.
They all look like supermodels. Everyone's wearing a coat with a nice scarf, and they have their gloves.
The kiss in this gazebo is
the gazebo
standard
kiss. But they do make those towns look really good. And I think they are real towns. I heard a lot of the filming is done in Canada, so I think the Canadians have nice little towns. But the Hallmark movies, I mean, have you ever sat through one entire movie?
It's vomit worthy. Like, it is the worst.
Okay.
Only because the storyline is already predetermined. You already know what's coming up. Like, if you really want to invoke those emotions, there's much better ways to get out of it. And now I fear going to my hometown thinking that some ex is going to come and disturb my relationship. So I'm never going home again.
Right. It's like the ghost of Christmas past. All right. So how about, what the heck was I just going to say? Oh, it was good. Shit.
How far did you move away from your hometown? Like, where do you live versus where you grew up?
4 miles. I grew up in Youngstown. I live in Boardman. So,
okay.
I mean, I am one of those people where I can live anywhere in the country because of my job. I just have to be by an airport, realistically, because I travel for my gigs. I wish most of my speeches were in Youngstown or even Ohio, but I would say 95% of the time I'm delivering a presentation, it's somewhere else. So
do you think most people should move away from where they grew up to get better exposure?
No.
Or do you think they should stay?
I don't think you need to move away to get better exposure. If you have something that's working here and it's good, it's a beautiful thing. Look, Youngstown Studio, it's a gorgeous thing. Why would you have to take this somewhere else? So I feel in people's minds the mentality of this town sometimes, Youngstown, I love it, but sometimes they feel like gotta get out. And I'm like, well, okay, if you have to get out to go do something that's going to better your life, then do it. But if you're just getting out because you don't like it here, I think there's a lot of value here, a lot of good here. If your industry or your job is not here, then I get it. You got to go. I mean, if you're in the automotive business and Lordstown's no longer here and you have to go to Michigan or somewhere like that, I get it, or Detroit.
Yeah, and there are very specific industries. Like if you're in entertainment, you go to New York or California.
Chicago,
like that makes
even,
total sense. But I think, both of us have done business in a lot of other, a lot of other states, a lot of other cities. And you think it's different, but it's just different in different ways. Right? It's broken in different ways and better in different ways.
Yeah. I think it's something new. So we automatically think it's going to be. A lot of times new is not always better.
Exactly.
Right? All right. So speaking of Christmas, Hallmark movies, I'm going to challenge you to watch One Fool One. Can you do that? Or you'd probably throw up.
Dude.
I know. All right, don't do it. I don't want you to get sick. So what is your favorite Christmas song? Are you into Christmas songs? Like when you're cruising down the street, whether you're listening to Sirius or a podcast or any, do you listen to Christmas music during Christmas? Zero. How about in the house? Does the wife play it?
No.
No.
I will tell you, like, there are certain songs that will take me back to a moment when I was like a kid. That's kind of a cool thing.
Yes.
But like, I don't have to do that on the regular. Every once in a while.
Okay, so that's how I am. I mean, I have a couple programmed in my car, so when I'm flipping through, if it pops on, I like that song.
There are some people though that turn the Christmas station on after Thanksgiving and listen to nothing but Christmas music all the way through the new year.
It's too much.
Too much.
Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Will it, well, okay. So my wife hates the Mariah Carey, whatever that is.
Right.
And so I play it just because it makes me laugh when she goes crazy.
She cringes.
And that's my dark soul speaking.
Okay.
But I don't have my favorite.
You don't have a favorite?
I don't.
I do have a favorite.
All right, what is it?
You have to guess. So it's not a Rudolph or Frosty, which are great songs, but it's not that. It's something more heartfelt. I don't know. I like it. All
Silent
versions.
Night.
No, but it's close to that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give you a hint. The favorite song of mine, the title has part of what you just said in it.
It has night or silent?
Correct. I'll give you a hint. It's not silent. So it's
Night. Something about night.
So it's... What is that? What letter?
A circle?
What letter? If you had a
Oh. Oh, Holy Night. You like Oh, Holy Night?
favorite Christmas carol.
Really?
Love it.
Okay.
Touches me, moves me, warms my soul every time I
Do you
hear
have
it.
the same pitch on Oh, Holy Night? Can you sing a little extra?
No, I'm a horrible
from it?
singer. People think I can sing because I could speak, but I am not a good singer. I'll be the first to admit it. I know my limitations.
Okay.
So I could speak but not sing.
And that's why you listen to it, so you
Correct.
appreciate the artists that can present that.
Michael
the way-
Flaherty is the best version of Oh Holy Night. He was the Phantom of the Opera. I want to say it was at the Pantages Theater in Toronto all those years when Phantom of the Opera was huge. This was probably like 90s, early 2000s. It just was finishing up. I actually got to go see the Phantom of the Opera in Toronto. He was already not doing it anymore, but you'll never guess who the Phantom was. Paul Stanley.
Really?
I was like,
Interesting.
holy shit, is this the Paul Stanley from Kiss? Yep. Paul Stanley was the Phantom of the Opera when I saw it at the Pantages Theater in Toronto, early 2000s, and then it ended. It was pretty amazing. I was like, wow, I've seen him on stage in makeup before, and now the dude's singing opera. So it was
got
pretty
range.
cool. Yeah, he's got range.
All right, so would you take Christmas carols or Christmas songs performed by early entertainers like the crooners, the Sinatras, whatever, or
Tony
modern
Bennett's.
stuff where they put a twist on it and they make it their own?
I'm more drawn to old school. Tony Bennett, Blue Eyes, Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye. I don't know if he's saying he tap danced though. Yeah, I like those. I don't mind the modern version. Like sometimes country will come up with a new thing. It's not bad. I'm drawn more to the traditional Christmas. Although Oh Holy Night, anyone at any time can sing it. Kelly Clarkson has a version. Celine Dion has a version, but the Michael.
If I can get you
Oh
to
no,
say
Michael
some,
Crawford. It's not Michael Flaherty. You know who Michael Flaherty is? He was the Irish step dancer dude. Remember when that was all popular back in the day? The Irish step dancing. Okay, that was Michael. I want to say Michael Crawford. Michael Crawford was the Phantom of the Opera. He has the best version of Oh Holy Night to me.
If I can get you to say something nasty about Mariah Carey, I'll clip it out and I will present it to my wife, and she will be crazy happy.
Okay. She's ridiculous. She canceled a show the other day. Did you hear that? In Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, she was supposed to be doing her holiday thing, and I knew people who were going, and she canceled it. I'm not sure. I'm sure she had a good reason, but that to
Still
me is
a
like
dick
a
move.
dick move. When you
Big
got
time.
thousands and thousands of people, unless you were on your deathbed, you got to get your ass out there and do something.
Yep.
And she did not. I've never been a fan of her, and are you ready for this? And this is the truth. I don't think she's good looking. And people go nuts. I go, I don't see it. Like, it just doesn't attract me. Nothing about her. I don't know what it is. So
Mediocre at best.
tell your
in-
wife,
in
Deb, that.
entertainment and aesthetics.
Yeah.
BJ, clip this one out.
Yeah, clip that out, but, I just not attracted. What else is on your mind? I think I saw you and Kellen. You guys have some good debates. I like it. Your last one, what the hell? You stumped her. What was it? Oh, crud. I meant to screenshot it. It wasn't validation. It was, the whole insurrection thing. And you described it very well. And it's true. What's happening over here is considered, or could be considered, if you're disrupting someone's flow, if you will, for your purpose of, so the Democrats can say what they want and the Republicans can say what they want, but it's not just one-sided.
Politics sucks.
Right.
It really does.
I disagree with that whole January 6th was an insurrection thing. I mean, I I don't see it. You know what I mean? But that's me personally. OCD. Are you OCD? A little bit?
I would not consider. I have tendencies.
Okay.
But they're comfort.
Okay.
Right? I don't need them, but I want them.
Okay. You're not counting your steps.
No.
Me neither. But I am OCD. Like there are certain things I do.
My hero here, Nikola Tesla.
Okay. Yes.
He would walk around a building 3 times before he would enter.
Okay.
Okay.
So that
he
was his
would
thing.
mark the amount of steps that he would take up a staircase. So having sort of like mathematical reasoning behind doing things was his thing. I would consider that an ailment.
Okay.
Something that
inhibits you a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if I don't walk around the building, if I want to walk around a building, cool. But I can still enter the building if I hadn't walked around it 3 times. Like that's where the differentiation between something that's got control of your brain versus something that you think has some purpose to it.
I have little things that I do a lot. Like, and my friends make fun of me. Chrissy Rotuno, Mike Rotuno make fun of me, and I make fun of Chrissy Rotuno because she has little quirks like me. Like when I set my cup down, any cup, if it doesn't sit perfect, if it goes, I can't do it. It has to be flush and rub it twice or 3 times. If you watch, I'll like, it's weird. Any cup, my friends will catch me doing it. And I don't even realize I'm doing it. I'm just like, it's one of those quirks. So I don't think I'm ADHD or ADD. I think if I were born now, I probably would be diagnosed that because I am a maniac psycho. But it's more controlled. Like I can bring it up. I'm usually pretty high level, you know that. But there are times where I can be not subdued, but more serious. So I do have control over the range it goes, where I think some people who are truly ADHD don't have control. It's like, boom, they're just, I think part of it's learned because I am a one-man show in my business. I'm the CEO, the CFO. I book the clients, I send the faxes and all that. I do everything. So I have to be organized. And then I still have to go and give the speech. So there's a lot of stuff involved with it. So I think I'm trained.
I work with
to
a
be
lot
more
of
focused.
autistic people, like very high functioning, and they sort of like serve truth more than you and I do. So if you and I have a regimen that makes us feel good and does self-care and puts us in a great frame of mind, like we're a little delusional that we don't attribute that all of our regimens support the outstanding things that we do. Where when you're autistic, like you don't have any bullshit around it, where you will serve what makes you functional, right? And you won't make apologies for those things that do that.
Right.
We kind of call attention to it when you have some kind of something you're suffering from rather than something you're, like you and I are doing on purpose.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think the mind of someone who is autistic is a beautiful thing with regards to just how they process or how they don't sometimes care about what others think or this or that, and they just kind of do their thing. And there are different levels, right? There's high functioning, there's low functioning, there's Rain Man, right? Was autistic, right?
Heck yeah.
So, drop the toothpicks, boom, can count them. Very smart, very analytical. Part of me thinks I have Tourette's because I do move around a little bit. Like, I don't think I vocally like shit, piss, damn. You know what I mean? That doesn't come out, but the tics.
Proper usage of energy. You're a high energy person, and you translate that energy into function in the outside world. So I'll attribute that.
Yeah, good. Well, that's why I'm a motivational speaker. Get that stuff out there.
That's right.
I saw you posted something the other day. It was hilarious, and I actually had to stop and think. I'm like, that ain't right. It was the put 1 quarter a day away in a big jug, and you'll have $10,000 some dollars. And then Joe's like, well, if you put $1 away a day, you're only gonna have $360.
Which is more than a quarter,
right? You're only gonna have $365. So, how the hell did someone come up with that? I mean, I can't even understand or comprehend.
Human beings are terribly bad at math. That is 100%.
I mean, that's not even. I don't even know how much that is. $36 maybe. I mean, if $1 a day is $365, a quarter a day.
Quarter of that
would be I don't know, $990,
90 something.
90 right? Dollars.
Yeah.
And it said 10,000 something.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Like if
the guy was like, what? And then I'm like,
Elon
wait a
Musk
second.
has $100 million or $100 billion. He could get everybody millions of dollars and still have some left over. And then I do the math on the calculator. I'm like, yeah, you can give everybody $30.
Right, because there's how many? 7 billion people in the world? 7.5 billion people in the world. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, so that made me laugh. What else? I'm good. I mean, I like that we riff and have nothing going on. How was your drink?
What's that?
How was your
My whiskey? My whiskey was
nice?
good. Like, this is a time
What do we have today?
I had Reserve.
The Woodford Reserve?
Woodford
That is a
Reserve.
good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
You drink it neat, straight? What do we call that? Neat?
Neat.
Neat?
Yep. Straight up. And you're drinking your Espresso Supreme.
I'm drinking it like Paula Abdul. You get it? Straight up.
Straight up. But you got to lift your pinky when
yeah,
you drink
right.
the espresso.
I can't get enough of it. I've already had like a ton. But again, I'm naturally wired. People say, "Are you on cocaine?" I go, "No, I don't do it." But I'm just naturally wired. But I do
would
shut
love
down.
To,
I do
I
shut
would
down.
love to get the measurement of caffeine that you intake before you do the show. And so,
Okay.
in espresso, what do you think caffeine wise that you got there?
Was this a double?
That's a double.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, I don't even know, how do you calculate the caffeine with regard? Is it like 200, 400, or are we saying milligrams? How would you even calculate?
Milligrams.
Okay. So
a regular espresso is 64 milligrams.
okay.
So
I had
you've
about
had
120.
128
Yeah.
milligrams.
But I had a quad shot earlier of Starbucks blonde shaken espresso, which is 4 shots of
So you're in the 700 range about now?
milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. What is the recommended?
Oh shit! I mean, I'm gonna come and do this show. Next time we do the show, I'm gonna have nothing, and we're gonna see how my energy is. It's still gonna be the same because I'm just naturally
So
like this.
you were not.
Oh,
The
so
recommended
that's,
amount of caffeine in adults is 400 milligrams
that's
per
not
day.
bad.
So you
I'm-
think you're usually below, at, or above?
Oh, I'm above.
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 Totally.
Yeah, because I'll have another blonde shaken espresso in about an hour. I'll go to Starbucks and get another one just because I'm hooked on them.
So let's paint the picture.
More
if you did
taste
this
than-
show
more
with
taste
no
than
caffeine going into it,
Yeah.
are you different?
No,
Zero.
no, I'm telling you, my energy level and who I am is not mandated by the coffee amount I drink. That is me personally saying that. Just because I know who I am. 52 years old. I've been doing the same thing for a lot of years. So I naturally get excited. First of all, when I see you, I'm thrilled.
Blow.
Right? I mean, geez, oh,
Off
Pete,
the top.
it's just unbelievable. I get it.
So what about
sensation.
like chemical sedatives like alcohol or marijuana? Does it affect you in a way that brings you down a couple levels where I'd look at you and say,
So I don't. Yeah, I'm not a big pot dude. I probably am in my 20s. Smoked it a couple times here and there. I was like, it's not for me. You know what I mean? I have friends who do it all the time, and I was inundated with it. It was all around me. I just never got into it. A couple times here and there.
does alcohol bring you down a couple notches?
So alcohol, no. Alcohol mellows me, and if I'm a fun drinker, if you will. I don't want to say drunk because I don't get drunk too often. Although I did get drunk the other day, threw up all over.
You got that drunk.
Yeah, and I don't usually get like that. It's been years.
What's it take?
I'm going to give Melinda a shout out.
Give me the volume
ready
that's
for this?
required.
AKA Whale Penis.
Whale penis.
That is her nickname. I'm at her house.
It's complimentary no matter what.
Right. And anyway, we were drinking dill pickle martinis with peppercini like juice.
Sounds so
It was
gross.
freaking delicious. So I had maybe 4 of them just relaxing. And then as soon as I shut my eyes, it started spinning. I go, I'm going to throw up. And I literally did. Like a pig. I was like, bleh. I mean, it's just, once I
What
get
kind of
that
volume?
spin-
How many drinks did you have to bring you to
4.
4 drinks?
Meat martinis.
Or
Maybe
or
one
vomit
Stella.
level?
No, it was just when I got the spins. I could have 4 drinks if I don't know. I don't know if it was the timing. And we weren't like going at it hard. We were just sitting around, hanging out, having drinks. But I did throw up. I don't get drunk too often. I get to a point where I know I can be and I'm happy. So I'm happy, if you will. I don't think my energy level changes. If anything, it maybe goes up a little. But once I hit that tipping point, I'm done. And I'm done for the night. Like, I'll be in the fetal position. I'll throw up. It's bleh. Yeah. Have you thrown up from alcohol?
Not since I was like college age,
Okay.
that kind of
Just
thing.
too
So,
much. You wouldn't go.
Yeah,
you just-
like you kind of know your limits. You
Yeah,
really
right,
know
as
what
an
makes you
adult.
feel good, and you don't go beyond it.
Even when I go places, everyone's like, let's do a shot. I'm like, I'm a grown man. I don't need a shot. You know what I mean? I don't need to get that drunk that quick. if it's a celebratory shot, someone's daughter's having a baby or whatever, okay, maybe I'll have one. But I don't, like, if I'm out having cocktails or beers, I don't want to have shots with that. I don't need that.
What about like New Year's? Do you make exception on a day where everybody's socially drinking?
I'll drink no matter what. With regard, I don't have a limitation as to what day. I won't drink more on New Year's because it's New Year's. I know that. I'll try to do a toast with champagne if at some point. But yeah, no, I don't go at it hard because it's this day I'm gonna get drunk. It's St. Patrick's Day. I have to get drunk. Not like that. I'm pretty moderate.
The most adult thing that you've ever said on this show.
Right.
The most responsible adult
I think
thing.
I'm growing up.
You are.
Right in front of your eyes.
Right here.
All right. 2025. Come visit us. Are we done?